the Rockets. Our leadoff batter is Jerome Adams, the center fielder for the Dow 15. Set to deliver. And another strike tossed in there by Strandland. Count now 2-2 as we're nicely underway in our evening game here at the USABA 15 and under World Series. Set to deliver, Strandland to place and strikes him down. Adams takes the bench. Wise guy, Jimmy Weiss. An impressive start for young Charlie Strandland to begin the game.
Yeah, not looking like he's struggling to find the plate. He got ahead of the hitter and polished him off with a curveball low and away. Charlie Strandland looks like he's getting things underway well for the Lucent Rockets.
Kyle Renfro, the next batter in. He is the opposing pitcher, and he takes a low ball. Ball one to Kyle Renfro of the Dow 15. He's their pitcher, number 13. This team from Redmond, Washington. Quite a machine. They have several teams in high-level organized ball. Strandland set to deliver. A little low again to Renfro. Our count now 0-2. Second batter of the ball game as we're nicely underway in the top half of the first inning here at Lambrook Park. Great night for ball. A little breezy. Wind blowing which way, Wise guy?
Wind blowing from right field to left. Get it up in the air and left, and it could be a little trouble for the left fielders tonight. It's a little windy out here at Lambrook Park.
0-3 the count to Kyle Renfro as Charlie Strandland looks in, rocking into his delivery. Yes, and he connects down Main Street with that strike as Kyle Renfro predictably watches on a 3-0 count. Strike one.
Look for
both. One strike.
Sorry, Coach. Look for both teams to try and take a lot of pitches and make these pitchers throw strikes, at least early in the game, to get a feel for what they're throwing out there. Remember, these hitters haven't seen these pitchers yet at this point in the tournament.
And we've got a full count here now as Strandland has worked his way back to a 3-ball, 2-strike count. Kyle Renfro awaiting the delivery from number 12 Strandland. Rocks and delivers to home plate. Second strikeout for Charlie Strandland. Nice start of the ball game for Charlie Strandland.
Yeah, nice fastball, low and in, handcuffed Renfro and sent him packing on his way back to the dugout. Good start for Charlie Strandland.
Number 10, Kyle Larson, is the first baseman for the Dow 15s. Had some pretty good success in this tournament here at Lambrook Park to date. Strandland with the delivery. Low. Ball one. 1-0 to Kyle Larson, the first baseman. And one thing that everybody comments on when they're watching these ball teams play, Wise guy, is the size of these ball players. These guys are 15 and under. Man boys.
Yeah, when I was 15, I don't remember facing guys this big, but some of these players are extremely big. Pat McNaughton, the designated hitter, actually the catcher for tonight's game for the Dow under 15s, is a big boy. He's 6'2", 230 pounds, so he is a big boy at 15 years old.
Larson takes a slice at a nice curveball by Charlie McNaughton. That brings the count 2 strikes and 1 ball. 2 out in the top half of the first inning. Top half of the first inning with the Dow 15 at the plate. Charlie Strandland in command of his pitches. Get a nice close shot of him and the wide shot as he delivers. Strike 3. Ball gets away. Can't seem to find it. Is the catcher. But in time, our catcher seems to locate it. Justin Chasen with the nice recovery and making the toss out to Tim Henderson. Make that our first baseman. Let's get another look at this ball as it squirts away on strike 3 to Larson as he chugs his way up first. But as you see, the throw from Chasen to the first baseman, Matt Gunning, in time to retire the side.
Just in time to get the lumbering Larson down the first baseline. Neither the hitter nor the catcher realized right away that the ball got away, and the play developed. They got him by a hair.
Let's take a look at our first look of the Dow 15 pitcher from Redmond, Washington. A little bit of background on our pitcher here, if we can, Wise guy. Our pitcher is Kyle Renfro, number 13.
Yeah, 15-year-old, born in Belleville, Washington. These kids are spread out all over Washington, but they've come together to create this Dow 15 and under team. They went to Interlake High School, actually still goes there in grade 10. Favorite team, the Cleveland Indians, Coach.
The Cleveland Indians, and he's from the Seattle area.
Yeah.
Go figure. Probably liked Omar little low in his time with the Mariners. Of course, little low. Oh, Kyle Renfro. Nice action. What do you make of that action there, wise guy? An old pitcher like yourself.
He's a lefty.
Yes, that's
he's got a nice overhand delivery. He could give these Rockets fits up there tonight.
Almost as many fits as the wind is here at Lambert Park to our papers here at broadcast location. We're at field level as Renfro takes his last warm-up. One more to go down to second, and our leadoff hitter for the Victoria Lucent Rockets, Derek Russell, a center fielder, number 21. A little background on Derek Russell from the Wise Guy.
Hey, you should be pretty comfortable playing out here at Gordon Head. He went through Gordon Head Little League and continues to play ball out here. Plays for the tournament team, of course, a member of the 14-year-old Rockets, and has made his way up through the organization. And he's leading it off for the Rockets. Boy, I wouldn't want to be the left fielders up there tonight, Coach.
Derek Russell, nice batting average, .308 at the USABA World Series, batting average of .308, so a fine showing in this tournament today.
As I mentioned, with the Dow 15s taking their first bats against Charlie Stradlin, they'll be looking at as many pitches they can, or should be anyways, at the start of the game against Kyle Renfro. See what he has tonight.
What he has right off the bat is a call strike one as we pick up play in the bottom half of the first inning. No score from the Dow 15 in the top half. Looking in for the next pitch. Strike two. Swing and a miss by the center fielder Derek Russell, the leadoff hitter for Victoria Lucent Rockets. Looking in on the signals now is Renfro. Kicks and delivers from the south side. Solid contact to the second baseman of the Dow 15. T.J. Anderson, nice pickup and delivery to the first baseman, Big Kyle Larson. That's one down for the Rockets, and that makes way for Tim Henderson at shortstop tonight. Number 3, Tim Anderson, a fine pitcher in his own right. In fact, Wise Guy, he had a nice tournament last year down in Las Vegas.
That's right, pitcher of the year at the 1997 USABA World Series down in Vegas, and he's second batter of the game for the Rockets.
Called strike one as Renfro delivers to home in fine fashion. Henderson at this stage of our tournament hitting .222. Better known perhaps as a pitcher. The delivery by Renfro, low. 1-1 as our lefty paws away at the rubber here at Lambert Park, field number 1. Just great conditions for this tournament on a beautiful sun-swept night. Takes a poke at it, does Henderson. Boom! Just out of play. The catcher for Dow making a charge on it, but not nearly in the vicinity, was Pat McNaught. Striding back slowly to the plate. The count 1 ball, 2 strikes for young Mr. Tim Henderson. You know, just look at that kid on first base. Well, we'll gotta have a look at him in just a second, but we'll wait for the delivery from the lefty. Kyle Renfro striking out.
Nice curveball low and away on Tim Henderson. And these guys, I'm telling you, Coach, both the pitchers, at least early in the game, looks like it's shaping up to be a pitcher's battle as they're staying ahead of the hitters.
Let's have another look at that, Uncle Charlie, as delivered by Kyle Renfro. The lefty, and the strikeout pitch coming.
Sets into his delivery. A nice outside pitch. Tim Henderson went fishing, and like you and I, comes up empty.
Isn't that a fact? Okay, we got 2 out here in the bottom half of the first inning. No score in our game. And the delivery to the next batter. Number 12, the pitcher. That's Charlie Stradlin making the play at third, but too late. Making the play at third was Eddie Adams. Slipped and fell as he made that play, and a happy Charlie Stradlin, the pitcher, will take first base. He is their top hitter in this tournament today. Charlie Stradlin coming into that at bat, hitting .333, and he proves his average there. Can't see that they're going to give Eddie Adams an error on that play.
No, he just lost his footing on the infield and struggled to get it back. Did recover in time to get a throw over there, but Charlie Stradlin, with his immense speed, beat it out by a half a step. Charlie Stradlin, of course, with a couple home runs to this point in the tournament.
Alrighty, we got Kyle Renfro looking into Bo Partlow. Call it strike one. No balls, one strike to Bo Partlow, the right fielder.
And as expected, they do give Charlie Strandland a hit on that play, so he sits at first base.
Nice fastball down Main Street, evening out our count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Have a nice look, see if we'll get Renfro making his move to first base. As yes, he does. Strandland making his move back to first in time as Renfro with that nice move. A lot of lefties, of course, have that nice move to first, as displayed there by Kyle Renfro.
Yeah, don't look for Charlie Strandland to get a big lead. Remember, he is the pitcher. They don't want him getting too tired out there, so don't expect to see Charlie Strandland take off for second base anytime soon.
The look into home plate by Renfro. Delivers a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes to number 34, Bo Partlow. He's the right fielder this game for the Victoria Lucent Rockets. Renfro to home. Strike. And he's out. That retires the side in the bottom half of the first inning. 3 strikeouts for young Kyle Renfro. Let's have another look at the action of our lefty from Redmond, Washington, Kyle Renfro.
Yeah, they're both starting out pretty well. He sets into his motion. Good curveball low and away. Once again, the Rockets not being very patient with Kyle Renfro. Swinging a lot of stuff outside, Coach. If they're going to get on this guy, they're going to have to take a few more pitches and make him throw strikes.
Hoopla Summer Jam Basketball Camp. 721-2244.
Kyle Renfro, of course, pitcher for the Dow team. I was thinking of Charlie Strandland. Struck out the first 3 batters in the first inning for the Dow 15s, and see what Pat McNaughton can do. See if they can try and get the bat on the ball. We've only had one guy put the ball in play.
Have a look at our field here, and we'll tell you straightaway center is 380 feet. In the power alleys, 360, and down the line, 310. So this is a big ballpark for these 15 and under Babe Ruth players. Set to begin play here in the top half of the second inning, delivering Charlie Strandland. Fouls it back, does big number 9. Would be, of course, Pat McNaughton, the catcher. Already he's behind. No balls, 1 strike. Pat McNaughton, solid hitter for this Dow 15 club. The delivery high and outside. 1-1, evening up the count here in the top half of the second inning. No score, by the way.
Playing Pat McNaughton straight away in the outfield and the infield, especially the first time through the batting order. Don't look for anything different. They're trying to feel each other out.
He lofts it into right field, camping under it and making the catch. The right fielder for the Victoria Lucent Rockets, Bo Partlow, making a nice play on a windy evening here at Lambrick Park. And in the sun, I might add, Wes.
Yeah, you just can't give up on that ball. It's sunny out there in right field and windy as well. It was tailing away from him towards the line, but Bo stayed on it and made the catch.
Next batter for the Dow 15s, number 11, the third baseman, Eddie Adams, set to deliver. Spanks one up the middle and squeezes between second base and shortstop there, and taking first base with the first hit of our ball game. Eddie Adams, the third baseman for Dow 15.
First guy to get the hit for the Dow 15s, and he was on the beginning end of Charlie Strandland's single in the second inning for first inning, actually.
Let's have a look at our first hit of the ball game, wise guy.
Stays with it, hits it right back up the middle. That's what these young hitters should be trying to do. Don't try and pull everything. Hit it where it was sent to you, and that's what Mr. Adams did.
The chopper through the middle. Now looking in on the next batter. Who is our next batter, by the way? Throw back to first base. Nice stop there by the first baseman, Matt Gunning. Now at the plate for the Dow 15s. That would be the shortstop, Sean Sattler. Big shortstop. They make them big these days, like A-Rod down in Seattle.
Yeah, not the prototypical, good fielding, not tough hitting shortstops anymore, Coach. They're breeding them a little differently than they did in the 70s and 80s, that's for sure.
1-1 now with that strike call by our plate umpire, Jim Crawford. Nice to have Jim working the plate. You know, you can hear him even with the headsets on. Jimmy
That's right.
Crawford making the big call behind the plate.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Terry Adams, the coach of the Dow 15s, setting the runner in motion here, try and force the defense a little bit this early in the game. As I mentioned, they're feeling each other out, and this would be a good way to test the arm of the catcher for the Lucent Rockets, being Justin Chason.
Toss back to the first baseman as they try to keep the runner close. Eddie Adams, our first baseman for the Lucent Rockets, by the way, is Matt Gunning. Set to deliver. Another ball, so that brings our count to 2 balls, 1 strike.
Charlie Stradlin just got to try and concentrate on the hitter. See some of these young pitchers worrying a little too much about the guy leading off first and getting behind the hitter, which he's done to this point to Sean Statler.
Stradlin sets to deliver to home. No. Boy, that one just missed by a little bit, as Crawford says. Ball 3. 3-1 to our hitter. And that's the shortstop, Sean Sattler, now setting in. Ready to look at the offering by our pitcher, Charlie Stradlin. Glance over his left shoulder. Oh! Second baseman slips and falls. Our runner Eddie Adams just put it into cruise control as he rounded second, seeing that the ball was going to go sailing over the tripping second baseman for the Victoria Rockets. Our second baseman was Troy Bassey, having trouble there. Still at the plate with the count at 3 balls, no strikes. 3 balls, no strikes for our shortstop, Sean Sattler of the Dow 15. Eddie Adams now poised on third base as we look at Charlie Stradlin looking in for the signal.
All they need is a fly ball or a ground ball to the right side to score the first run of the game.
Steeride down Main Street, 3 balls, 1 strike. As Stradlin rears back and throws that heater right past Sean Sattler. Have a look at our runner Eddie Adams on third, taking a sizable lead. Quick glance back to third by the pitcher Stradlin to home. Foul ball.
Sean Sattler trying to take the ball to the right side, coach.
Good bit of hitting if he could have kept it inside the line, but no. Brings the count to 3 balls, 2 strikes, full count to our hitter Sean Stradler, the shortstop. Digs in to face our pitcher for the Rockets, Craig Stradlin. Takes another glance at Eddie Adams at third. Goes to third. He's back in time. Just.
As I mentioned, Sean Sattler trying to take the ball to the right side. In accordance with that, you're going to see Charlie Stradlin, the pitcher, try and pitch him inside and force him to pull the ball to the left side and keep the runner, Eddie Adams, at third base.
Sean Pollitt, by the way, the third baseman for the Rockets. The delivery to home. Low, ball 4.
It's a good play by Justin Chason just to keep the ball in front of him with the runner on third. The catcher really has to get down and keep that ball in front of him, keep the run from scoring. If they're going to score, the Lucent Rockets want the Dow 15s to at least earn their way home.
We got runners at the corner. We have 1 out here in the top half of the second inning for the Dow 15s. At the plate, the right fielder for the visitors from Redmond, Washington, Dan Harris, number 25, digging in. Kid's got a nice swing, wise guy. Back, and he was going to do the old fake to third over to first, but no movement by the base runners.
I think that worked once in 1986, the first time it was ever tried, and I don't think it's worked since. But he's just trying to get both runners back to the base.
Nice lead by Eddie Adams at third. Stradlin looks over his shoulder, peeks at third to home. Nice contact down to the right field. And that drops in. Our first run of the game will score as Eddie Adams trots in with the RBI by Sean Statler, and the high fives by these exuberant young baseball players. Eddie Adams scoring the first run here in the top half of the second inning. Nice bit of hitting out by Sean Statler, the shortstop.
Yeah, the pitch looked
actually Dan Harris was our hitter there.
Dan Harris looked like the pitch was on the outside edge. Harris takes it to right field, goes with the pitch, puts it in play, and the Dow 15s have their first run of the game.
Nice bit of hitting, and this is what we're seeing out here is quality baseball, where they go opposite field with the looked like it was the curveball that was thrown by Stradlin. Stradlin looking in now to Kyle Bemis, the left fielder. Strike one call by the plate umpire, Jim Crawford. We have one out. We have a call of strike one, 0-1 on Bemis at the plate.
Charlie Strandland just trying to get his composure back after giving up the first run of the game. And with one out, they're going to try and get the Dow 15s to hit the ball on the ground, look for a double play here to get out of the inning.
That scattered the dugout area of the Dow 15s. A real pool shot, so we say, you call that kind of hit off the nub end of the bat by Bemis. Well, the end result is no balls, 2 strikes. Men at first and second for the Dow 15. Charlie Strandland in a bit of a pickle here in the second inning. To home. Strike and called out. 2 down now for Charlie Strandland as he digs back as Mr. Bemis takes a trip back to the dugout.
That's a 4th strikeout of the game for Charlie Strandland. Uncle Charlie on the outside corner, and Kyle Bemis couldn't catch up with it. So 2 down now for TJ Anderson, the second baseman.
Nice looking ball player, TJ Anderson. He's the second baseman for Dow 15.
Also a pitcher for the Dow 15s when he's not playing second base. Hard throwing right-hander.
Catches the corner, does Charlie Strandland with that fastball, making it no balls, 1 strike here. 2 out in the top half of the second inning. A 1-0 lead for the Dow 15 over the Victoria Lucent Rockets. Charlie Strandland checking the runner at first. That would be Dan Harris. The delivery to home. Ball evens the count at 1-1.
Crawford calling it tight on these young pitchers, at least early on in the game, making them earn their strikes. Strandland threw a good curveball on the outside, I guess it was, says Crawford. So
looking in, checking the runner at first, which would be Dan Harris, is Strandland. 2 home. Foul straight back. And hits our broadcast mobile unit there. Boys, everybody okay in the truck there? Sure they
hope
are.
everybody was paying attention there in the mobile unit. Everybody working hard here at Shaw 11.
Proud to bring you this ball game, courtesy of Shaw 11. Don't get much chance to bring you hard ball, but boy, this is great ball to watch. Under 15 World Series action. The delivery to home, another foul back by T.J. Anderson, the second baseman for the Dow 15s. This kid is a good-looking ball player. Seen him now in 3 games. He can hit, he can pitch, he can run. This kid has also got a great glove at second base for the Dow 15. What's our count? Well, it's at 2. Make that 1 ball, 2 strikes. We've got 2 out. Top half of the first inning. 1-0 lead for the Dow 15. Looking in for the signal is Charlie Strandland. Checks second base. See where the runner is there. Delivers home. No. Evens the count at 2-2. You're right about our plate umpire wise guy. He's calling this tight is Mr. Jim Crawford. That what looked like it was just about where you'd want to have it. There's our batter. T.J. Anderson looking in. Is the pitcher, checks second, delivers to home. Solid poke down the third baseline. Nice play by young Mr. Sean Pollitt at third base. And that retires the side, but not before 1 run is scored on a couple of hits by the Dow 15. So after 1.5 innings, we have a 1-0 lead, Wise Guy.
That's right. Dow leaves 2 guys on base, hit the ball hard, but Sean Pollitt makes a great play at third base. Charlie Strandland struggles out of trouble in the second inning for the Dow 15s. Does give up 1 run, but gets his composure back. Both pitchers pitching not bad, actually, for 15-year-olds. They're striking guys out, and despite a diminutive strike zone from Crawford, the home plate umpire, these pitchers aren't struggling too much.
Hey,
we go to the second inning.
I'm going to go 1 step further, or a couple steps further, and say these 2 guys, Mr. Kyle Renfro and Charlie Strandland, are pitching a whale of a game. Both of them early in this contest here at Lambert Park. Great night for ball. Wind seems to have calmed down a little bit. Our stands are just about full as we prepare for the bottom half of the second inning with our leadoff batter in the top or the bottom half of the second. Just waiting for a few more tosses by Kyle Renfro, the starting pitcher for the Dow 15. Joe Woodruff now is striding to the plate. Check that. We'll just check that. Be number 5 for the Houston Rockets. Indeed, Joe Woodruff, himself a pitcher. Versatile utility player, and we'll just check the stats on Joe Woodruff's batting so far in our USABA. 15 and under World Series. The first one held here at Victoria.
See Joey digging in at the plate. A lot of these guys are wearing their socks high. Joey doesn't do that, though. He wears them low.
What are you, a fashion coordinator for
Well,
baseball?
no, it's just it's the style of the 90s. A lot of the players, there's a couple teams, the California Cannons, one of the teams in the tournament, I think it's mandatory uniform that they all wear their socks high.
9 teams in this tournament. We're seeing 2 fine teams right here as Kyle Renfro delivers a nice strike. That evens the count at a 1 ball, 1 strike here in the bottom half of the second inning.
Look for Joey Woodruff to try and keep his front foot in. That's the tough thing for left-handed hitters to do against a solid lefty. And should try to keep that front foot in and try and take the ball the other way.
And the delivery by Renfro, low. 2 balls, 1 strike to Joe Woodruff. He is hitting .273 in the tournament so far coming into tonight's game. Nice tight shot of our pitcher from the south side. Ball. 3 balls, 1 strike for Joe Woodruff, the leadoff batter here for Victoria in the bottom half of the second inning. 1-0 our score for the team from Redmond, Washington. Set to deliver, Kyle Renfro. Solid shot down the third baseline. Rolls into the corner. And rounding second, chugging into second is Joe Woodruff with a stand-up double. Not the fleetest of foot is Joe, but he gets the job done.
Gets the job done. As I mentioned, should try and take the ball to left field, and he did exactly that. We'll take a look at the replay of this as Joey Woodruff pitch on the outside portion of the plate, and Joey takes it to left field, right down the line by Eddie Adams, trots into second base with a leadoff double here in the bottom half of the second inning for the Lucent Rockets. Good start to the second for the Rockets.
Kyle Bemis was their fielder there, and he just got the ball into second base as Joe Woodruff arrives. Our batter now for the Victoria Rockets is number 4, Matt Gunning, the first baseman. The delivery by Kyle Renfro. Calls a strike on Kyle.
Little different strategy here for Matt Gunning. He'll try and take the ball to the right side and move over Joey Woodruff to third base, see if they can punch a run across here in the second inning.
That would tie the game up. As we see the lead by Woodruff, the delivery to home, fouled back by Mr. Gunning. That's 1 ball, 1 strike on Matt Gunning, the first baseman. We'll see what kind of lead that Joe Woodruff, the heavy-legged Joe Woodruff, takes at second base. Those are ugly pants, I gotta admit, Weiss.
Not exactly fleet of foot out there at second. He's got, maybe the long pants are hurting him. He's got to wear the socks high. Might make the difference.
Back to second. Does Joe get back in time? Safe call by our umpire. That's Ken McDonald, by the way, our first and second base umpire. Playing down third base line is Eric Rasmussen, as we took a look at those ugly pants by Mr. Joe Woodruff. Set to deliver, Kyle Renfro. And strike 3 call on Matt Gunning as he takes a seat. That gives us 1 out for Victoria.
4th strikeout of the game for Kyle Renfro. Both pitchers with 4
Let's have a look
strikeouts on the game at this
Another
point.
K for Kyle. Outside corner. I don't know if that looked like a slider by the looks of things as it caught the outside corner. Our next Lucent Rockets, Sean Pollitt pops it up behind first base, drifting back in the wind. It drops, but no advancement for Joe Woodruff on second base. A congratulatory shake of the hand for Sean Pollitt, who lofted that one behind first base, and having trouble with both the sun and the wind was the first baseman Kyle Larson.
Disappointing to see Joey Woodruff not get to third there for the Rockets. I'm sure the third base coach is talking to him, at least signaling him right now.
No.
You got to get at least halfway down the line there, at least a quarter of the way down. And this is windy game out here, coach, and these runners have to be aware that some of these balls might be dropping in.
Solid contact made by our next batter. That's Sean Tailby, the left fielder. And he is caught out. Solid contact, but right to where the center fielder resided. And that was Jerome Adams making the long out. That's 2 out. We have 2 men on. All righty. Look at those pants. Oh my gosh. Joe Woodruff. I want to have another look at that long out by Mr. Sean Tailby, the left fielder for Victoria, lofted that one up, but directly to the center fielder, Jerome Adams. Our next batter for Victoria is Troy Bassey, the second baseman. Takes ball 1 to start things off for his at-bat. 2 out, 2 men on, 1-0 lead for the Dow 15s. Solid poke up the middle. No, sir. Second baseman in position. Nice play, nice positioning by T.J. Anderson as the dejected Victoria Rocket hitter strolls back, removing his batting gloves, commiserating with his first base coach.
Hoopla Girls Champs Camp, August 24th to 28th. 721-2244.
Righty, we're set to begin play here in the top half of the third inning. The score 1-0 for the boys in the blue tops. Redmond, Washington, the Dow 15. Starting things off is Jerome Adams. He is the leadoff hitter, and he is the center fielder, and taking his position, ready to see what damage he can do against Charlie Stranlin, starting pitcher for the Victoria Lucent Rockets.
Jerome Adams struck out in the first inning. This is his second look at Charlie Stranlin. Look for things to get really interesting from both sides now as they get their second looks at these young pitchers.
Set to deliver the right-hander Stranlin. Contact made, lofts it out to right field. It drops in front of the right fielder for the Rockets. Bo Partlow losing that one in that very tough right field sun at this time of the day here at Lambert Park. And the wind swirling a little bit hurts too. So we have a look at Charlie Stranlin saying, yow. So are they going to call this an error? Well, here's our man Jerome Adams in action.
Ball kind of dropped in there in front of Bo Partlow. The sun is pretty tough on these guys. He was shading him a little to right and didn't quite get in time for that. And Jerome Adams taking second on the play, a two-base error for Bo Partlow.
Kyle Renfro now the batter. Lays down a bunt, perhaps a little too hard. They're trying to get the runner at third. No, the ball squirts loose of Sean Pollitt. And safe at third is Jerome Adams, and safe at first after laying down a suspect bunt, shall we say, is Kyle Renfro. There you see Adams, the center fielder, safe on third. So we got runners at the corner, nobody out, and it's starting to look a little tense for the Victoria Lucent Rockets as big Kyle Larson, the lumbering first baseman of the Dow 15, readies himself to go do battle with Charlie Stranlin.
Dow's playing pretty aggressive baseball. They're setting runners in motion, bunting the ball, moving them over, and that's how they scored in the second inning.
All righty, get Charlie Stranlin trying to compose himself after a tough set of circumstances. No real fault of his own. He should have perhaps 2 out here, and yet nobody out.
Kyle Larson, another strikeout victim in the first inning as Charlie Stranlin struck out the side for the Lucent Rockets.
Checking the runners at first, then third is Charlie Stranlin. Goes to first, keeping Kyle Renfro as close to the first base bag as he can.
Once again, nobody out here. Look for Kyle Larson to try and put the ball in the air. Doesn't want to hit it on the ground and hit into a double play.
Back to first. Bobbles the ball, does the first baseman for Victoria.
On the other hand, Charlie Stranlin looking to induce Kyle Larson to hit into a double play and keep out of the big inning here. They'll give up the run for the double play at this point.
Nice little lead by Jerome Adams at third. You can see the lead also by Kyle Renfro. He takes off for second. The bounce toss. Have they got him? They punch him out. The one hopper by the catcher for Victoria, Justin Chasen, guns down Kyle Renfro.
I don't know about that
hopper
call at second base, Coach. We'll have to hopefully take a look at that one again when we get a chance. Of course, setting the runners in motion.
All right, he's still digging in at home plate is Kyle Larson, the first baseman. The count, no balls, 1 strike. Only having to concern himself with Jerome Wilson now is Stranlin. A solid poke into center, scores the run as trotting in is Jerome Adams, and Nice little bit of hitting by Kyle Larson, the first baseman who sits on first base.
He roped that ball to center field, driving in the second run of the game for the Dow 15s. We'll take a look at this one again. The left-handed hitter takes a pitch right over the heart of the plate, back up the middle. Center fielder for the Lucent Rockets gets the ball in right away. That'd be Derek Russell, and keeps Kyle Larson at first base.
Next batter is the catcher, Pat McNaughton. Big Pat McNaughton, number 9. Toss back to first to keep Larson close at hand. We have one out here in the top half of the third inning. Score now 2-0 for the Dow 15s. One out. And down the line, just foul of third base. Was a sort of a, I don't know what you call that. Didn't get a lot of metal on that one, did Pat McNaughton. So our count now is no balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Or is it 1 strike? Get our call from Jim Crawford, the umpire, just a moment. Stradlin delivers to home. Solid fastball down the main street. Strike 2 to McNaughton. So 0-2 with 1 out. 2-0. Dow 15 leading this game, top half of 3. Pat McNaughton, the catcher for the Dow 15 from Redmond, Washington. The delivery by Stradlin. Low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. As we have RBI man Kyle Larson on first.
Once again, Justin Chason doing a good job of keeping that ball in front of him, keeping Kyle Larson at first base. Once again, they want to try and stay out of the big inning here.
See the short lead by the first baseman Larson. Doubt that he will attempt to steal. To home, ball. Evening up the count at 2-2.
I don't think Big Kyle's going anywhere at first unless there's a ball put in play.
And with Mr. Jason, our catcher for Victoria, cutting down Kyle Renfro on his steal attempt. Set to deliver. Stradlin to home. Solid poke into right field. A one-hopper to Bo Partlow. And that gives us runners at first and second.
Good
Standing
piece
on
of
second there is Kyle Larson. At first, Pat McNaughton.
Good piece of hitting by Pat McNaughton on an 0-2 count. Takes the ball where it came from on the outside part of the plate from Charlie Stradlin. Takes it to right field. Great piece of hitting by Pat McNaughton. Now runners at first and second.
As it drops in front of Bo Partlow. Set things up for you. That we have 1 out to 1 run in, so our score in the top half of the third inning is 2-0 for the Dow 15. Stepping into hit now is the third baseman Eddie Adams, digging in as he sets to face Charlie Stradlin. Strike catches the outside corner. You know, Wise Guy, you mentioned something about the hitting of the Dow 15s, and I think you're right on by. They're going with that curved ball to the opposite field, and that's where they've got just well all of their hits so far in this game.
That's right. Hitting the ball very solid. Dow 15s playing good fundamental baseball offensively.
In the gap between first and second. And that should score big Kyle Larson, lumbering home to score the third Dow 15 run. 3-0 now our score. They just keep hitting the opposite field.
Yeah, took the words right out of our mouth.
Man, oh man, let's have another look at it. Again, another piece of fine hitting.
Eddie Adams, son of the coach Terry Adams, takes the ball between first and second. The runner had to slow up for just a second there. Pat McNaughton slowed up, but in comes the third run of the game for the Dow 15s.
As you can see, Larson trotting in, no real problem scoring. Our next batter is the shortstop, Sean Sattler, for the Redmond-based ball team. Craig Stradlin delivers, catches the corner, called strike 1. Actually, 2 strikes on the shortstop, Sattler. Sitting at third base, number 4 for the Dow 15. Pat McNaughton, actually the catcher, has a courtesy runner. That's Martin Brackey. Martin Brackey, a courtesy runner. You can do this, by the way, Wise Guy, in the under 15 World Series. Courtesy runner for the pitcher or catcher, and that's what they've decided to do for the catcher, Pat McNaughton. We've got Martin Brackey now on third base. Sean Sattler, the shortstop for the Redmond-based team, at the plate as Charlie Strandlin looks in. Eyeballing first base, goes to home low. Tossed by Chase into second. They've got him gunned down again, but the run scores. They get the out, record the second out of the inning, but in doing so, they allow the courtesy runner, Martin Bracke.
And they had the delayed steal on there. Runner going down to second, and they threw through. Catcher throws the ball through. Chason throws it through, and they do get the runner at second.
Nice tag made again by number 23 for the Victoria Rockets, Troy Bassey. And the final putout of the inning, as retired, was Sean Sattler on strikeouts, but not before 2 more runs checked yet. 3 more runs scored by the Dow 15. That makes our score after 2.5 innings. 4-0 for the Dow 15.
Brayfoot Athletic Center Association. Event planning and coordination. 721-2244.
Can look for these Rockets hitters against the Southpaw from Redmond, Washington.
Now you mentioned that the previous half inning about the visitors from the Washington State area, that they had the second look at Charlie Strandlin, and it really showed with hit after hit going with the pitch. And we'll see if the Rockets can do likewise as we begin play in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Our leadoff hitter is Derek Russell, the center fielder. Takes a strike 1.
Russell did strike out in the 1st inning, leading off for the Lucin Rockets, looking to do a little more against Kyle Renfro in his 2nd at bat of the game.
Grand night for ball here at Lambrick Park as Renfro delivers outside, evening up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Take a look at that crowd. It's been great crowds here for this first staging of the USABA 15 and under World Series. They hope to do it again next year as Renfro delivers high. 2 balls, 1 strike to our batter, Derek Russell.
This is what you want a leadoff hitter to do, Coach. Take a couple pitches, try and get on base and set things up for Tim Henderson and hard-hitting Charlie Strandlin.
The delivery by Kyle Renfro bounces it foul. And evens the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Derek's showing a lot of hustle getting down to first base, showing he's got some wheels. If Rockets can get him on, maybe they'll set him in motion.
Let's have a look at Derek Russell's average, fine average of 308 so far in this World Series, as he sets to receive the next pitch from Kyle Renfro. Low. Full count for Derek Russell, as we wait to see if the Victoria Lucin Rockets learned something after their first go-around against Renfro. The kick, the deliver, low, and he takes the base on balls, does Derek Russell, making way for Tim Henderson, the shortstop, number 3.
Dow's been testing the defense of the Victoria Lucin Rockets. Let's see if the Rockets can turn things around. Maybe get the speedy Derek Russell heading down to second base.
I think that's exactly what he was thinking of, that shot we had of him, as he takes a sizable lead, takes another step out. Renfro glances, and he's back, but not nearly in time as Kyle Larson relays the ball back to the pitcher's mound. 4-0 our score. The visitors from Renton, Washington, leading the Victoria Lucin Rockets. Set to deliver, lays down a bunt, checks second, goes to first, gets the runner at first. Henderson gunned down at first, but not before he sacrifices Derek Russell to second base.
Kyle Renfro checked off the runner heading to second, knew he didn't have a play, and took the sure out at first base, as you see Renfro delivering to home plate. Nice piece of hitting by Tim Henderson. That pitch was low, gets the bunt down, checks off to second and goes to first to get the out, but in the process, Derek Russell, the center fielder, ends up at second base for the Rockets.
The pitcher, Charlie Strandlin. Little off-speed stuff there, fooling Charlie Strandlin, probably the best hitter right now for the Rockets.
Took a mighty cut at that one, a little ahead of it.
He's composing himself, taking his time before getting back into the box. Our score 4-0. 0-1 on Charlie Stradlin in the bottom half of the third inning. And a back, and he fakes the toss to second base. That chases back Derek Russell to second. Renfro resets, as does our batter, Charlie Stradlin. To home, solid contact, lofting it way back to the fence. And this will score Derek Russell as Charlie Stradlin continues his fine hitting in this tournament.
Great piece of hitting by Charlie Stradlin. Saw the pitch he liked, and he ends up at second base.
Boy, this kid is a ball player.
He is.
He pitches, he hits, and we just saw the example of the latter. Let's have another look at this fine swing by Charlie Stradlin.
Renfro delivers what looks like an off-speed pitch that Charlie Stradlin was waiting on and hits it to the left center field gap. And he ends up at second base. Good piece of hitting.
Our next batter now in the box there is Bo Partlow, the right fielder, number 34.
Bo struck out in the first inning, has had his troubles with the sun out there and right. Let's see if he can get on the sticks here in the bottom of the third for the Rockets.
Fouls off to go 0-2, so already well ahead of the batter is Mr. Renfro, the southpaw for the Dow 15. Bo Partlow, the right fielder, looking to see if he can make contact on the Renfro offering. High, ball one, 1-2. 4-1 now our score in the bottom half of the third inning. The Dow 15 leading the Rockets, the Lucen Rockets from Victoria. Kyle Renfro up
Got
against
the kind of the upright stance there.
Bo gets under this one. This could be trouble with the sun and the swirling conditions. Yes,
and it is.
It falls down, but no advancement of our runner at second base. So presiding at second base is Charlie Stradlin. 1 out. And that is why Charlie Stradlin is still anchored there at second base.
Bo Partlow got a feeling like there's a little bit of justice there. He had trouble with the ball in right field, and sure enough, the second baseman struggle with that same sunlight as Bo ends up at first base.
Yeah, that's a fine second baseman for the Dow 15, T.J. Anderson. But I don't care who you are up there on a night like tonight with that sun in the sky. That's a tough play for anybody.
By about the
Ozzie
fifth inning.
Smith would have trouble with that play in his prime.
Maybe by about the fifth inning when the sun gets down below the bleachers here. And
a little conference going on the mound here is, quite frankly, I don't know why they're... Maybe they're just trying to settle down Mr. Kyle Renfro. I don't think they're worried about his pitching because, quite frankly, he's done the job. Well, the pants aren't great, but the stroke is nice for our next hitter, Mr. Joe Woodruff. He's
beautiful double down
DH.
the left field line in the second inning for the Lucen Rockets. Couple ducks on the pond. Let's see what old Joey can do here.
Well, the first thing he does is foul the first offering by Kyle Renfro. 0-1. 1 out here in the bottom half of the third inning. 4-1 is the score as Joe sets up to do battle with Kyle Renfro. The delivery by the southpaw, called strike 2.
That's a nice looking curveball from Kyle Renfro after Terry Adams, the coach, headed out there. It looks like he's gained his composure back after.
No, it's not low, Woodruff. It's Joe. And he
Woodruff.
waits. And solid poke. Deep center. Drops in front of the center fielder for the Dow 15. That's all that Jerome Adams could do. And my, oh my.
He hits the ball hard.
By you know who. We have the bases loaded. 1 out.
Look at this piece of hitting by Joey Woodruff. Lefty, no problem from Joey. Takes the ball to right center field, right in front of the center fielder. He has to back up on it with that sun. And it drops in for a hit. Runners can't advance any further. Looked like he might have had a play on that, but we got the bases loaded.
Bases loaded for number 4, the first baseman, Matt Gunning. Waits for the first delivery from Kyle Renfro. Low. Wow, that looked pretty darn good from our vantage point, but Jim Crawford says no, that was low. Ball 1.
Gunning also a strikeout victim in the first inning.
He catches the situation here. The bases are loaded with 1 out. Victoria 3 runs behind. Here's a chance for the Lucen Rockets to cut into that lead. The delivery Called strike on the inside half of the plate.
The base is loaded. The base is loaded. Kyle Renfro pitching from the windup. He's not pitching from the stretch. There's no one to hold on. He's just concentrating on the hitter.
Well, another suspect call, according to some in the stands. Bring the count to 1 ball, 2 strikes against Matt Gunning, the first baseman. And the score 4-1. Bases loaded. Little dinker caught by the third baseman and doubles up our man on second base. Boy, oh boy, there was some base running that Bo Partlow would like to perhaps have back if he could roll back the last 30 seconds. But no, you can't do that, Bo. You are out at second, as was our batter. Fine play by the third baseman for the Dow 15, Eddie Adams.
Yeah, Eddie noticed that.
Celebrate do the Dow 15 in fine fashion as they luckily retain their 4-1 lead.
Brayfoot Athletic Center Association. Event planning and coordination. 721-2244.
Welcome back to Lambrick Park in sunny Saanich. Our baseball game, USABA 15 and under World Series game between the Dow 15 from Redmond, Washington, and the Victoria Lucent Rockets. Picking up action in the top half of the 4th inning with the score 4-1 for the visitors from Redmond, Washington. And at the plate is the right fielder, Dan Harris, up against Charlie Strandland, who delivers. And a pop-up around the second base. The shortstop makes the play for the Victoria Rockets. Camping out of that one was number 3, Tim Henderson, and taking a seat was Mr. Harris there. And we have 1 out with the score once again 4-1 for the Dow 15 from Redmond, Washington. Our pitcher, Charlie, before 1 on our score. We'll have that correction for you in just a sec. Charlie Strandland delivers a scuff ball to the third baseman. Delivers and hangs on. Does Matt Gunning, wise guy.
Interesting call. It looked like he might have been in there, but the third baseman makes a great play to get to that short roller out to third.
Well, let's have a look before you slag our first base umpire, Ken McDonald, any more than you've already done. Nice pickup. No, wasn't even close.
Wasn't close? Got him by half a step. Good play by the third baseman.
Apologize to Ken McDonald as first delivery on our next batter by Charlie Strandland is made. Our next batter is the second baseman. Check that. TJ Anderson is our batter. TJ Anderson, the second baseman. What did he do the first time around, wise guy?
Lined out to the third baseman to end a threat in the second inning for the Dow 15s. Charlie Strandland doing a good job here in the top half of the 4th. Did a good job getting the first 2 guys out. Wants to get back to the hitters because they had a good bottom half of the 3rd inning.
Count is 1-1, 2 out. Strandland going to home outside. 2 balls, 1 strike by Charlie Strandland. He's up against pretty darn good hitter TJ Anderson, the second baseman tonight for the team from Redmond. Down Main Street goes Charlie Strandland. That evens the count up at 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 men out here in the top half of the 4th inning with a 4-1 lead for the boys in the blue shirts.
Look for the curveball low and away to try and sit him down here.
You called it, and he strikes him out. All righty. That retires the side in much cleaner fashion than the last inning. Let's have another look at this wise guy.
Charlie Strandland from the windup. Good motion by the 15-year-old. Comes through it nicely. Uncle Charlie, as we expected. Actually, it catches the inside corner, freezing TJ Anderson, the second baseman for the Dow 15s. Nice pitch by Charlie Strandland to mow him down in order in the top half of the 4th inning.
We take a look at the warm-ups by his counterpart, Kyle Renfro, who also has pitched a fine game to date. I want to mention a few of the people who have been involved in the fellas, we got to have you double check that score because my scorecard reads 4-1 for the Dow 15 over Victoria heading into the bottom half of the fourth inning. This World Series for the USABA 15 and under is here for the first time at Lambrick Park, but it could be here for the next 4 years. And the word we're getting is they have put on such a fine job. The organizers associated with the Braefoot Athletic Center Association. A couple of guys I want to mention in particular, Mr. Brent Doby, also Al Wilmot, Mr. Braefoot himself, working hard over the winter and spring months to get this tournament together, and hats off. Tip of the coach's cap and a salute from the wise guy for the work done by the fellows at Braefoot and everybody associated with this staging of the 1998 USABA 15 and under World Series. Great brand of ball and great turnout by the citizenry of Greater Victoria. Action underway in the bottom half of the fourth inning. First delivery by Kyle Renfro, our pitcher, to Sean Pollitt for Victoria. Pollitt, third baseman, waiting for the next delivery. Chopper up the middle. The shortstop makes the snag. Pulls Larson off first base, though. The shortstop, Sean Sattler. Made the nice snag, but couldn't locate Larson. Let's have another look at that, Wines.
Also a good play by the catcher, Pat McNaughton, backing this one up. Ball hit up the middle, a chopper. Sadler gets over there in time, has to make a rush throw. It does get away from the first baseman. Backing up the play, though, is Pat McNaughton to keep the runner at first.
And just like that, Sean Pollitt takes a seat.
Got burned by the good pickoff move from Kyle Renfro.
He's dirtied his jersey and doesn't feel too good about it as we wait for the next pitch to Sean Tailby, the left fielder, by Mr. Renfro. And a little off-speed stuff by the lefty has Tailby way out in front. And that should be 1 ball and 1 strike to the right. Make that the left fielder for Victoria. No, our umpire says that one was low. Now we've got the 1-1 count for Mr. Sean Tailby, waiting for the delivery from the southpaw. High, calls Jim Crawford. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Jim is calling it pretty tight, but you don't see any complaints from the hitters. All they want is an ump to be consistent, and Crawford has been thus so far, so that's good to see.
Tailby waiting. Oh, he swings at the outside pitch. Just too good to pass up. That should be 2-2 on this particular batter for Victoria Lucent Rockets, who were trailing this game 4-1, bottom half of 4. And he goes down on strikes. That was another Uncle Charlie from the southpaw, Kyle Renfro.
5th strikeout for Kyle Renfro. Let's take another look at Kyle Renfro's 5th strikeout, pitching from the windup. Once again, a nice motion from the lefty, coming over the top with that curveball. That's a beautiful curveball for a 15-year-old and a tough one to hit as the batter goes down on strikes.
Laying some lumber on it was Troy Bassey. Is tagged out by Kyle Larson. Troy Bassey, the final out in this half inning. So after 4 complete innings, it is the Dow 15 leading the Victoria Lucent Rockets 4-1.
Hoopla 3-on-3 tournament, September 5th and 6th. 721-2244.
4-1, top half of the 5th inning. Charlie Strandland, fine hitting young pitcher for the Rockets. Leading off things for the Dow 15. Takes a ball on a nice looking pitch. Jim Crawford didn't see it that way. Calls ball 1 on our batter.
We got a defensive change in for the Rockets. Eric Durda in right field for Bo Partlow, number 16. Gonna give old Eric a chance to deal with the sun out there and right. Bo's had enough of the sun, I think.
Alrighty, we got ball 2 on our batter. Jerome Adams, the center fielder. Set to deliver, Charlie Strandland. 3 balls, says our umpire. 3-0.
Jerome's 0 for 1. He did reach second base on an error by the former right fielder of the Lucent Rockets, Bo Partlow. Jerome scored the first run of the game for the Dow 15s as well.
Setting to receive the pitch is Jerome Adams, set to deliver. Charlie Strandland. High, ball 4. Not a great start to the top half of the 5th inning for young Charlie Strandland. Jerome Adams takes his spot down at first, and he looks like a guy that's itching to steal a base.
That's right. The native of Frankfurt, Germany, if you can believe that, Jerome Adams. It's only the second walk of the game for Kyle Renfro. Sorry, check that, Charlie Strandland.
Well, I know
you're
why
right.
you said that, because Kyle Renfro is now batting for the Dow 15. He checked the runner and almost checked that ball into the camera position there.
Good
Nice
play by the first baseman for the Victoria Lucent Rockets, Matt Gunning, to keep that one. High throw from Charlie Strandland, but he hauls it in and keeps Jerome Adams at first base.
Top half of the 5th inning. Nice little lead off by Jerome. I think he's going to go.
He's itching.
But doesn't. Now he does, because the ball gets behind the catcher, Justin Chase. And don't think they can charge the pitcher with a wild one. I think that was just a straight pass ball. What'd you say, Wise Guy?
Oh, yeah. Justin Chason didn't quite get the glove over for that one. No problem. Ball wasn't in the dirt. Just a pitch high and away from Charlie Strandland, and Justin Chason couldn't get the glove on it on the play. Jerome Adams moves down to second base and in scoring position for the Dow 15s.
The batter is Kyle Renfro. Checking the runner is Strandland. Goes to the plate. Look bunt. Gets the low ball call, and it's now 2-0.
Guy on second, nobody out. Look for Kyle Renfro as he kind of tipped off with the first pitch there to be bunting Jerome Adams over to third and trying to extend the lead to 4 runs over the Rockets.
See the runner at second there, Jerome Adams. Strandland looks back, delivers to the plate. Taps back. Should be a play at third. They gun him down. Called out by Eric Rasmussen, our third base umpire. Nice pickup by the pitcher. And that sends Adams back to the bench. 1 down. Let's have a look at our third baseman, number 43, Sean Pollitt.
Makes a good play. That was a low throw from Charlie Strandland, but he scooped it up and got the tag on Jerome Adams as he was trying to take third base.
Yeah,
shaking the dirt out of the glove is the third baseman.
Our
Good
batter.
play.
Next batter for the Dow 15. Big first baseman, number 10, Kyle Larson, stepping in.
1 for 2 with an RBI single
I'm not
back
mistaken.
in that third inning.
I think we've got a courtesy runner there, which we'll attempt to identify for you in just a moment's time. But here's our batter, Kyle Larson, waiting for the pitch by Charlie Strandland. Foul ball. No balls, 1 strike. We've got 1 out here in the top half of the 5th inning. 4-1 our score. Boys in blue are leading this game. They're from Redmond, Washington. Lucent Rockets in red tops. And on the mound, Charlie Strandland. Looking back, that runner at first to home plate. Calls it strike on the inside corner.
Kyle Larson didn't like that call. That's the first time I've seen any kind of disapproval from the hitters.
No, you know, the manager,
inner part.
The manager there, Steve Wayner, doesn't really like his boys to do anything but concentrate on playing ball. Emotion they don't show on the outside. Here's the delivery. Boy, that one jumped up and bit our catcher Chase on, but he seems to be okay. We do have now 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out in the top half of the 5th inning.
That ball did hit Justin Chason in the chest, but that's why they have the chest protector, Coach.
I never used to have to wear them.
That was the old days. This is the 90s. Protect these young men out here.
I used to play that position.
It's a toughest position in baseball. No arguing that. These guys have to do a lot of kneeling down and getting up, and not easy on the old knees, especially for the older guys, the young guys. This is how they develop bad knees, is by catching when they're 15 years old.
On first base is Martin Brackey. He is the courtesy runner at the plate. Larson takes the swing and a miss. Strikeout. 2 out now. top half of the fifth inning.
Good inside fastball. That would be the 1, 2, 3. Let me count them up here for you, Coach.
Martin Brackey at first base.
6th strikeout for Charlie Stratton. Let's take a look at that 6th strikeout. Looks like a fastball on the inner portion that Kyle Larson couldn't catch up to from the stretch. It was a fastball on the inner portion. Kyle Larson swings through it. His 2nd K of the game.
We got the catcher, Pat McNaughton, now ready at the plate. A hopper. That was about a 58-foot fastball by the looks of things by Charlie Stranlin. 1 ball, no strikes. We got a runner at first base in the likes of number 4, Martin Brackey, courtesy runner. Here's the catcher for the Dow 15, Pat McNaughton, ready for the delivery. Little toss back to the first baseman, just making sure. Matt Gunning at first, holding on the runner. Mr. Martin Brackey. Looking in for the signals is Stranlin. Glances over at first. To home plate. Outside, says our plate umpire. That brings the count to 1 ball, no strikes. 2 out. Top half of the 5th inning. Nice view of our back to first, not in time.
Charlie Stranlin paying a lot of attention to that runner at first. Doesn't want to get him down in scoring position, as Pat McNaughton, one of the better hitters for the Dow 15s.
He's their catcher, and he can swing the bat, as he did there. But this time, our catcher chasing for the Victoria Lucent Rockets, I think, took a piece of Mr. McNaughton's bat there.
He's taken a bit of a beating in this half of the 5th inning. Couple low pitches that he's had to dig out of the dirt. 1 off the chest protector. We're just making sure he's okay. He took a little chin music on that one.
Yeah. Loosen the molars there, perhaps. Let's have another look at this. No, you know, he just took that ball. He just missed that ball. Seems to be okay. I thought he took a little bit of the bat from McNaughton, but he's smiling. He's okay. Jaw will hurt like heck tomorrow. You can bet on that.
The hitter, Pat McNaughton, also is his counterpart behind the plate. He can feel for Justin Chase on that one. I'm sure he's taken his share of lumps as well behind the plate.
Wonder what he's saying to him right now. Set to deliver on the 1-0 count. Ball 2 on the throw down to second. They gunned him.
Beautiful tag by the shortstop.
Brackey is gunned down at second. Making the tag was...
That would be the shortstop, Tim Henderson. Beautiful tag.
Appreciative crowd.
Actually, I think it was the second base. I'm not sure. Maybe if we get a chance, maybe we'll...
Well, what we'll do is tell you the score here at 4-1 after the top half of the 5th inning, with Victoria Lucent Rockets ready to go for the bottom half, see if they can cut into this 4-1 lead.
Let's take a look at this one again. This is a great tag on a tough throw down to second base. As we take a look at the pitcher for the Dow 15s warming up, Kyle Renfro takes his warm-up chucks, and here we go. This is a beautiful tag by the second baseman. Slides, swipes the tag back, and gets the runner. Not Kyle Larson.
That was Martin Brackey. But you know what, wise guy? We should mention Justin Chasen had just had his jaw realigned the pitch before, and lo and behold, he's got to hoist one down to second and throws it close enough for Henderson to make the tag. Nice bit of work by Chasen, our catcher for Victoria, Justin Chasen.
That's 2 assists for the catcher, Justin Chasen. He's had a good and bad here. A good day defensively, maybe not a good day. He'll be back in the getting patched up after this one as the tournament continues.
Now, is that 2 or 3 that he's thrown out at second base here now?
I'll have to check my stats.
Check our
Coach,
stats.
but I think it's 2.
Here's his counterpart for the Dow 15, Pat McNaughton. I think we've got a bit of a lineup change being arranged here. We'll just wait and see. Conferring was the Victoria Lucent Rockets manager with the home plate umpire. No word yet on any lineup changes. As striding to the plate, number 21 for the Rockets, Derek Russell, the center fielder.
0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk to this point.
Low delivery by Kyle Renfro, who is pitching himself a darn fine game to this point. This point is, of course, the bottom half of the 5th inning. 4-1 our score. Victoria trying to creep a little closer. Tap back, foul ball, evens the count at 1-1. Got a little information on Mr. Derek Russell there.
Derek Russell.
What's his favorite food? What's his best memory in baseball? That sort of thing as we watch the delivery to home. Play to shortstop. Looks a bit high. And chugging his way to second base. Down and out. So nice recovery by the Dow 15 player. Was that Larson that dug that ball out and gunned down Derek Russell at second?
Yeah, see, the Dow 15s are making up for their mistakes. They've had trouble getting the ball to first, but are backing up the play well, and that's the situation here as you see the ground ball to the shortstop. Tough play for the shortstop. Not a strong arm over there. He does get rid of it in a hurry with the high throw.
Real high.
Real high.
All right, let's have a look at this. We're back to live action here, and at the plate is the shortstop Tim Henderson. Just tapped one foul. 0-1. He got one out, bottom half of the 5th inning. 4-1 our score for the Dow 15. Those are the boys in blue. Rockets in red tops, and our batter, Tim Henderson. This young man was the top pitcher in last year's USABA down in Las Vegas. Playing shortstop tonight as Renfro goes high with that pitch. 1-1 is the count. One out. Renfro delivers. Solid poke to the shortstop, who is now a little gun shy, I think. So having trouble with that ball was Sean Sattler. And count that as E6, I do believe. Bottom line on that is we have a runner for Victoria at first. The person of Tim Henderson.
The second error in a row for the shortstop, Sean Sattler. He's got to try and gain his composure here.
I'll tell you, with a man on base, Tim Henderson, and Victoria's best hitter in this tournament, Charlie Strandlin, you know that they're going to talk things over. Indeed, Pat McNaughton journeys out to, well, they all join out there at join hands singing Kumbaya. No, they're just talking things over with Charlie Strandlin, the next batter here.
Always brings up the memory of the movie Bull Durham when they go out to the mound and their minds aren't on baseball, I'll put it that way. You never know what they're talking about out there in those gatherings at the mound.
All righty, let's set this table here for you. Bottom half of the 5th inning. One out. We've got Tim Henderson at first and the hard-hitting Charlie Strandlin, the pitcher, taking strike one in the dirt. Anxious by the looks of things.
A single and a double thus far for Charlie Strandlin. Guy on first base. Pitcher trying to help his own cause here, get the Rockets within a couple runs. And he was anxious up there, swinging at a pitch in the dirt.
No business swinging at.
No.
Keeping Tim Henderson as close to first as he can is Kyle Renfro.
Lefty with a snap throw over there. Those runners at first really have to be careful. He has caught one guy over there at first base tonight.
High is that offering by Kyle Renfro. That evens the count at 1-1. Indeed, our pitcher's name is Scott Strandlin, but everybody else calls him Charlie, just so you know. Charlie Strandlin. Back again to first base is Renfro, dirtying up the uniform of Tim Henderson. He's being held by Kyle Larson, by the way, for the Redmond team. High is the pitch. Snap throw back from the catcher McNaughton, but not in time.
Showing a strong arm, McNaughton gets a throw down there right on target, but Tim Henderson up to his antics and gets back to first in time.
You know, the wind has died down a little bit, but I have a feeling we're going to see something here by Charlie Strandlin. Catches the inside part of the plate, says Jim Crawford. Backing off, composing himself is number number 12, Charlie Strandlin. Let's have a look at the lead here by Tim Henderson. Strandlin is now ready to take the next pitch from Renfro. Jeez, out of there. What kind of pitch was that, wise guy? What did he throw?
Looked like a curveball that number 12, Charlie Strandlin, couldn't get the timing on. If I'm not mistaken, that would be the 6th strikeout of the game for the Southpaw from Redmond, Washington. Look at the strikeout pitch. Indeed,
yeah.
It was a beautiful off-speed curveball. Charlie Strandlin was out in front of.
Boy, that was a beauty, and he's had more than a couple of strikeouts for that pitch tonight. 2 out, bottom of the 5th, 4-1 our score. Boys in blue tops leading this game. The Dow 15 from Redmond, Washington, our batter. None other than Bo Partlow, the right fielder.
Actually, Bo is out of the game. Remember, he was coming in defensively for Bo last inning was Eric Durda. And he's getting his first look at Kyle Renfro, who's to this point done a good job of keeping the Rockets off balance.
Swing and a miss by Durda. Swing and a miss. 2 out.
Say one of the toughest jobs in baseball is pinch hitting, and this is the equivalent. The first bat of the game for young Eric Durda. In the 5th inning, didn't get his full warm-ups in, and this is his first look at a very tough left-hander in Kyle Renfro.
Pitching a whale of a game. This young 15-year-old looks in for the signal. Swing and a miss by Durda. That brings the count to no balls, 2 strikes as they check the runner with the toss from McNaughton down to Larson at first. Durda is trying to readjust things as we have a look at him. Henderson. Yeah, he's got his uniform dirty. He's had to dive back into third about 5 times this go around. Durda waiting for the pitch from Renfro. He lofts one, does Durda? No, Larson cannot make the play.
Looks like he overran that ball. Was expecting it to get a little closer to the fence and was kind of eyeing up the fence, and the ball landed in behind. Kyle Larson gives Eric Durda another life at the plate here in the 5th inning for the Rockets.
Yeah, I think our first baseman Larson was worried about the sun, the wind, and also first base umpire Ken McDonald. I think he had all those things on his mind. Eric Durda now ready to face Renfro, the southpaw. Ball, he takes the ball. That brings the count to 1-2. 2 men out here in the bottom half of the 5th inning.
Eric Durda is one of the big kids we were talking about. 6'1", 185 pounds at the ripe old age of 15.
He's batting from the right side against the southpaw. How many times has Henderson had to scramble back to first base? Got to be a half dozen, maybe more. Renfro wanting to keep. You know what? Henderson should get himself down to second base is what should happen here, but no. Another ball. That brings the count to 2-2 for Eric Durda facing that fine left-hander, Kyle Renfro.
Durda getting as many pitches as he can against the left-hander and try and get a read off him in one at bat. Tough thing to do.
The delivery low and brings the count to full 3-2.
And a good block by Pat McNaughton, keeping the ball in front of him. Good mechanics, down on his knees, lets the ball hit him in the chest, keeps it in front of him, and keeps the runner, Tim Henderson, at first base.
All righty, full count, 2 men out here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Can Durda keep this going for the Rockets? Will Henderson try and, well, he should be off and running with the full count on this pitch. And he should get more of a lead than he's getting here. He is afraid of that fine move by Renfro, though. He's off and running, and
Check
it's
swing.
appeal to first. They say, no, sir. Base on balls for Durda. He worked Renfro very nicely.
Yeah, nice sequence for young Eric Durda. Gets 6 pitches against the hard-throwing left-hander and managed to work a walk out of it. Now the Rockets are in business here in the bottom half of the 5th with guys on first and second.
I'll say they're in business. It's the DH, Joe Woodruff, who has performed so far at the plate for the Victoria-Lucent Rockets. And again, a conference on the mound to discuss what the heck should we do, because Joe has performed, wise guy.
That's right. Joey Woodruff, single and a double and an RBI, drove in the lone run for the Lucent Rockets here in this game. So they want to pitch Joey carefully. Lefty-lefty. They're going to probably try and keep the ball away from Joey, although that didn't help in the, what was it, the first inning, second inning, top of the second inning, bottom of the second inning, when Joey Woodruff hit a beautiful double down the left field line.
Well, they could use another one of those. That would score a run, maybe two. Cut the margin. Right now it's 4-1, bottom half of the fifth inning. 2 men out. Joe Woodruff at the plate. Renfro delivers. Calls that one. Low part of the strike zone on the outside corner. Are we being kind to home plate umpire Jim Crawford on that?
He's done a pretty good job to this point in the game.
Snap throw, keeping Mr. Durda back at first. Sitting on second, by the way, is Tim Henderson. He finally makes his way down there. Takes a nice lead off with Woodruff at the plate. Solid poke right at the second baseman. Positioned perfectly was T.J. Anderson.
More tough luck for the Lucent Rockets as they do come up empty in the bottom half of the fifth inning.
Our score after 5 complete innings, 4-1 for the Dow 15. We'll be back after this.
The 1998 USABA World Series, coordinated by the Brayfoot Athletic Center Association.
We're back at Lambrick Field. Look at that scene, huh? Isn't that nice? Great day for baseball and a fine performance by both pitchers. As we start beginning of play, the top half of the sixth inning, as Charlie Strandland begins things off with a strike as he's facing Pat McNaughton, the catcher. You may recall that he was at the plate when the inning ended last time on the pickoff move by Chason.
You might notice on the screen there are a couple shadows starting to creep over in front of home plate. Might give the hitters some problems as the ball kind of goes into the sun, out of the sun, and back into the sun.
Chopper down to third. Let's see what Pollitt can do. Makes the nice toss and guns down McNaughton, who would be exactly the fastest man on the Dow 15.
Charlie Strandland gets the ball back, looking for another quick inning here, get his team back up to the plate in the bottom half of the sixth. They're running out of time quickly are the Rockets. They've only got 2 more at-bats, and Charlie Strandland wants to keep the score exactly where it is, at least as far as the Dow 15s are concerned.
Our next batter is Eddie Adams. Eddie is the third baseman for the Dow 15. Here's the delivery. Low ball.
Eddie's had a good game to this point, a couple singles, a stolen base, and an RBI for the third baseman of the Dow 15s. Good game defensively as well. He's made a couple of good plays at the hot corner.
Our score, top half of the sixth inning, 4-1 for Dow 15. They're the guys in blue.
Eddie's favorite player is Edgar Martinez of the Seattle Mariners. There you go. Now you got a kid that's a Mariners fan. The regional team for the guys down in Redmond, Washington.
Our count is 2-0. 2-0 with 1 out here in the top half of the sixth. Ball by Charlie Strandland. Might he be running out of a bit of gas here at 3-0, in danger of walking the third baseman Eddie Adams.
Has gone, had some long innings and deep pitch count, so his arm might be starting to throb a little bit.
Bat on ball out to our right fielder. Foul ball. Just brings a count to 3 balls, 1 strike. That's a long strike.
Eric Durda ran over for that ball, couldn't quite get there. He's the defensive replacement for Bo Partlow back in the third inning, I believe it was. Hasn't had a play out there in right so far, and that's probably a good thing. The sun is a bit of a problem for the right fielders, but it is starting to set.
All righty. Set things up here for you with Eddie Adams at the plate. Charlie Strandland on the mound for the Rockets. Call, strike. That brings the count to 3 balls, 2 strikes against Eddie Adams.
Nice curveball by Charlie Strandland.
There's your score. There's your pitch, and there's your foul back. Missed our broadcast vehicle this time.
Adams swings at a high curveball. Looks like it might have been ball 4, but he stays alive to see another pitch from Charlie Strandlin.
You play this level of ball, Jamie Weiss?
I did right here at these diamonds at Lambrick Park. I didn't play this high a level of baseball though.
Nice pitch there. Nice curveball by Charlie Strandlin as he sets down Eddie Adams. 2 out here in the top half of the 6th inning.
Next up for Dow, the shortstop, number 8, Sean Statler.
7 strikeouts on the game for Charlie Strandlin.
Alrighty, Sean Sattler now at the plate takes strike 1 from the pitcher Strandlin. He's the shortstop. There's the swing. Looks like Strandlin's found a groove.
He has. He's gotten his rhythm here. The last couple innings, he's been mowing down Dow 15, sorry. 7 strikeouts on the game. Looking for number 8 here is the pitcher Charlie Strandlin.
And he gets it. Swing him down with Sean Sattler. Our score after 6 and 1.
Top half of the 6th inning. There was no
Top
run,
half of the 6th
no
inning,
hit,
and this
no
is how
error,
the inning ends with Sattler
after
about to receive the, looks like another
Dow 4.
curveball.
Once again, looks like old Uncle Charlie on the inner portion of the plate. And man, is Charlie Strandlin settling down. He really only had 1 bad inning where he gave up 3 runs back in the top half of the 3rd inning to the Dow 15s. But he's really settled down. Now all they need is for the Rockets to get their bats heated up in the bottom half of the 6th inning.
Might be tough to do against this young man, Kyle Renfro. He has twirled himself a fine game over 5 innings. How many strikeouts has this young man got now? Wise guy.
Kyle Renfro with 6 strikeouts. He struck out 6 Rockets on the game to this point. They've got a lot of lefties in the lineup due to the Victoria Lucent Rockets, and might be a tough matchup for some of these young men. Kyle Renfro's really displayed a good mix of pitches. He's mixed up the curveball, the fastball, and the off-speed pitches very well. He's kept the Lucent Rockets quite off balance in the first 5 innings that he's pitched of this game, only giving up 1 run.
Okay,
I'm
we're
mistaken
in the,
with regards to the pitcher for the Lucent Rockets, Charlie Strandlin, with 9 strikeouts.
9.
9 strikeouts.
My, oh my. Here's Kyle Renfro, though, who has done the job so far. 2 more at-bats, if you will, for the Victoria Lucent Rockets in this game. This is the USABA 15 and under World Series at Lambrick Park. I'm Hayden Thomas. My broadcast partner is Jamie Weiss. I'm the coach. He's the wise guy. And here goes play in the bottom half of the 5th inning.
Fans are starting to put on their small coats as the starts to cool down out here at Lambrick Park. Sun's gone down. It feels a lot like Candlestick or something like that.
0-1 the count to our batter, Matt Gunning, the first baseman. We'll see if Kyle Renfro is able to keep it going through the 6th inning. Our score 4-1. Little high, says our plate umpire Jim Crawford. That's 3 balls, no strikes. By the way, waiting to have a word with us here in just a moment's time is the one, the only Brent Dovey, the guy that's helped put this tournament together. Call strike down the middle. Matt Gunning wasn't willing to take a whiff when he had 3 balls. The count now 3-1. Renfro set to deliver. And waiting to gobble it up is Yes, he does make the play. Does T.J. Anderson. For a moment there, looked like he was going to bobble it. Let's bring in Brent Dovey here for just a moment. He's one of our men from Brayfoot who's helped put this whole thing together here. Brent Dovey is one of the main organizers. Welcome to our broadcast, Brent. Congratulations on the work that you and your people have done here so far in what has been a wonderful experience of this 15 and under World Series under the auspices of the USABA.
It definitely has been a success, as you mentioned, Hayden. After 4 days, we at Brayfoot and with the Lucent Rockets are very, very happy with the crowds. 1 and 2, the quality of baseball.
Our batter, by the way, Brent, is number 43, the 3rd baseman, Sean Pollitt. A little conference on the mound there to settle down Sean, or Kyle Renfro. 9 teams involved this time around. Good number. Could you have handled another couple, or is this a nice workable number of teams at this sort of event?
Essentially, we're aiming for 12 teams, Hayden, and I think we could have had 12 teams, but being our first year, I think it's important.
Does not beat out the tapper down the first baseline, so out at first base is Sean Pollitt. That's 2 down here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. That brings to the plate Sean. Well, we'll just check the batter, but first of all, let's have another look at how Sean Pollitt tried to leg this tapper out. Nice pickup by Renfro. Guns him down with the toss to Kyle Larson. 2 down. Swing and a miss by Sean Tilby, the left fielder. Now the batter. Check that. We do have a pinch hitter, Aaron McQuarrie, now in the game for the Victoria Lucent Rockets. Aaron McQuarrie now in the game. He taps it to TJ Anderson. The Victoria Lucent Rockets go down weakly. 1, 2, 3. After 6 complete innings, our score reads the Dow 15 from Redmond, Washington 4, and the Victoria Lucent Rockets 1.
Hoopla Summer Jam basketball camps. 721-2244.
Welcome back to Lambrick Park, scene of the USABA 15 and under World Series game between the Dow 15 from Redmond, Washington, and in the red tops, the Victoria Lucent Rockets. Sitting beside me, Mr. Brent Doby, one of the organizers of this tournament. Sounds like we might have this back next year and for the next couple of years, this tournament.
It definitely does sound that way. My conversations with people from the USABA, they're very happy with the things that they've seen here, and we'll go down to a meeting in Edmonds, Washington in October, November, and we had a vote of confidence from them, and hopefully we will have it for the next 4 or 5 years.
Our batter is number 25, Dan Harris, the right fielder. And he strokes one into left field, and he now resides at first base. This little single by Dan Harris off that fine pitcher for the Victoria Lucent Rockets, Charlie Strandland. Let's have another look at how Dan Harris finds his way onto first base. A little grounder seems to squirt by the third baseman there for Victoria, Sean Pollitt. And our next batter is Kyle Bemis. He's the left fielder, tossed back by Strandland. So you have a meeting in October, and by the sounds of things, you'll have some good news to impart. Last year down in Vegas, they had their problems, and you guys had something that you could read from and improve on from that particular.
Absolutely. There was a couple of grumblings, I guess, from some of the things in Vegas last year, but the other side of things, picked a lot of the good things that the people in St. Albert have done in the last couple of years. They've had a very good tournament there, and
so it's been in Canada before, St. Albert in Alberta, and opportunity that we might have it here at Lambrick Field over the next 4 years after this.
Absolutely, and not to say just at Lambrick Park. There's obviously a lot of fields around town, Henderson, Carnarvon, Leyritz. We were talking about it the other day. We could easily probably have a 25-team tournament with the fields that we have.
Man, oh man, that would be something to see. As he takes the pitch foul, does the batter Kyle Bemis. Our count here in the top half of the 7th inning. Dow 15's leading this game 4-1. The count is no balls, 1 strike. Kyle Bemis has a runner at first in the person of Dan Harris. A little toss back by Charlie Strandland. Now, they say Charlie on the program, they have him as Scott Strandland. What's the story there,
Charlie's his baseball name, Hayden. I just, from discussions with his parents, his name's Scott, but the boys call him Charlie, kind of like they call you Coach.
Solid contact made by Kyle Bemis to the center fielder for the Victoria Rockets. Making the play out there was Derek Russell to record. record the first out in the top half of the 7th inning. Still at first is Dan Harris. You'll see what kind of pitch Charlie throws. Looked like a straight fastball that Bemis got a little bit under. And recording the out there, Derek Russell, easy out in center field. Sun, not a problem for Derek Russell. Back to live action at the plate. Fine young ball player, T.J. Anderson, the second baseman for the Redmond Washington Club. High is the pitch called by Jim Crawford, the home base ump. Our count is 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out, top half of the 7th inning. 4-1 our score. Sitting beside me is Brent Doby for another minute or so. Been a real, I would think, joy to get to know some of these players and managers from Oregon, California, Washington State, Saskatoon, but also Hawaii. A real nice group of people that have joined this tournament from Hawaii. Where are they from?
Absolutely. The coaching staff of all these teams, the head coach of the River Dogs, he's the coach of Edmonds Community College down in Edmonds, Washington. He also does some work with the junior Olympic team. So, I mean, some of these coaches, the coach of California has turned 7 guys into Major League Baseball players. So,
guys got some credentials. Brent
Absolutely.
Doby, want to thank you for sitting alongside us here for a couple minutes. Congratulations on what you guys have done so far with this.
Thank you very much.
98 USABA 15 and under World Series as we watch the left fielder for the Victoria Lucid Rockets, Aaron McQuarrie, camp under that long out, stroked by T.J. Anderson. Welcome back to our broadcast booth now. The wise guy, Jamie Weiss, was watching some long outs, especially that one by T.J. Anderson. Camping under it, as mentioned, was Aaron McQuarrie.
Yeah, Charlie Strandlin's given up some fly balls, but as long as they stay in the yard, they're okay. He wants to keep the score at 4-1. As the Rockets hopefully head into the bottom half of the 7th, only trailing by 3.
Yeah, 4-1 is the score. The count is 0-1 on our batter. That would be Jerome Adams, the center fielder. I was going to say, was Charlie Strandlin struggling a little bit? But he just threw the heater. Another toss. Look at this arm by Justin Chasen as he guns down his 3rd, or what's that, his 4th runner.
4th runner of the game thrown out by Justin Chasen.
Man, oh man.
They send Dan Harris, and not the fastest guy on the team is Dan Harris, and showed it there, but it's still a perfect throw from Justin Chasen down to second. Second baseman, all he had to do was camp under the throw and apply the tag as Dan Harris slid.
Appreciative crowd here at Lambert Park, scene of our 1998 USABA under 15 and under World Series. Wonderful display of baseball by these boys. No older than 15. That's hard to believe when you look at the size of them. Set things up here for you. We're down to it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We're down to the bottom half of the 7th inning. That's right. They play 7 innings and 7 innings only in regulation at this level of ball. You know that, don't you?
Of course I do. Last inning of play. Well, maybe not the last inning. Hopefully not for the Rockets. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't speak so soon. They've got 3 outs and 3 runs to go. I did indeed.
Still on the mound for the Redmond Washington Club, called the Dow Baseball Club, is Kyle Renfro, who has not quietly, he's pitched a heck of a ball game. Bottom half of the 7th. Who's our batters coming up, wise guy?
Well, they're looking at Troy Bassey, the number 9 hitter, and then the top of the lineup with Derek Russell, Tim Henderson, and if he does get a chance, hard-hitting Charlie Strandlin, the pitcher for the Victoria Lucin Rockets. Shaping up to be a good bottom half of the 7th inning as Kyle Renfro tries to polish off the Rockets.
Troy Bassey. He's got a look of determination on his face. There's the young second baseman for the Rockets, waiting for the delivery from Kyle Renfro. Solid contact, but it goes foul.
With a 3-run lead, sorry, Coach, with a 3-run lead, Kyle Renfro just wants to continue to throw strikes, doesn't want to walk anybody and give them a free pass to get on base. Wants to make the Rockets earn their way on here in the bottom of the 7th.
They need 3 runs to tie this game in the bottom of the 7th. Low, says our plate umpire. Well, that was pretty darn obvious. Low ball, 1-1. The count here on the first batter in the bottom of the 7th for the Rockets. Down to this. Another low ball. Could it be that Kyle Renfro is feeling this struggle?
Here you see left-handed hitting Troy Bassey settle in, employs kind of an open stance and strides into the play as the pitch comes.
3 straight low deliveries by Renfro, leaving the count at 3 balls and 1 strike.
Looks like Bassey's going to get a good pitch to hit here with a 3-1 count.
Will he be taking? No, he won't be taking. He'll be stroking it up the middle, making it all the way into center field. By fine bit of hitting by Troy Bassey, who now is at first. And that brings up.
Let's take a look at this one again. A 3-1 pitch by Kyle Renfro splits the heart of the plate, and Troy Bassey sends it back up the middle and glides into first base with a lead-off single here in the bottom half of the 7th inning.
Well, you don't want to get picked off there, as Renfro seems to be pretty darn good at keeping those runners close to first base. Being a lefty, he's got the natural advantage to go to first. Here's our batter. Derek Russell taps another one. Looks like a double play ball, but no! And making the ball move around second is Troy Bassey. On first on the error to the shortstop.
Sean Sattler has struggled a little bit for Dow 15s. He really has struggled at shortstop, and costly error.
Derek Russell's face.
I think
Derek
so.
Russell at first base, thanks to the E6 on third.
Big turning point.
Troy Bassey. So runners at the corner, and that brings up number 3, Tim Henderson, the shortstop.
He's 0 for 3. He did reach on an error back in the 4th inning for the Lucent Rockets.
Did you say he's due?
I would say that big number 3 is due for the Rockets. Guys on first and third. The worst thing he could do here would be ground into the double play. They need all the base runners they can get as Charlie Strandlin stands on deck, itching to get a chance to hit in the 7th.
Man, you don't want to get picked off, but risky moves also by Kyle Renfro. You know, you go over to the well once too often, and pass ball brings in 1 run.
You can hear the Lucent Rocket players from the bench yelling at the player at first to get back.
Here's our delivery. Looks down the line. Can we make a play? No, it falls foul. That brings the count, if I'm not mistaken, to 1-1. 4-1 is our score. Bottom of the 7th. We've got runners at the corner. We've got Troy Bassey at third. We've got Derek Russell at first base. On the mound is Kyle Renfro. Might be tiring a little bit. Yeah, he might be just tired from throwing to first base all the time.
He's gone over there quite a bit.
Quite a bit.
Has had a couple runners over at first base that he's had to worry about. And speaking of the runner at first, I wouldn't be surprised to see him take off for second.
Lofting the ball is Tim Henderson. Time and the tag. And Victoria does score on the sac fly by Tim Henderson. Coming in to score the Victoria Lucent Rockets' second run is Troy Bassey. All right. We still have Tim Henderson. Check that. Derek Russell at first base. They've got to get him down to second. Now, has anybody from Victoria really attempted a legitimate steal today?
I don't think they have. They're a little worried about the strong arm of Pat McNaughton. The most important guy is the guy at the plate in Charlie Strandlin. I don't know if you send him.
I just mentioned something on as we see the count at 1 ball, no strikes. This young man, not this one, but the guy at the plate that's Charlie Strandlin. Hit a grand slam home run a couple of nights ago. Not this time.
Oh, and a good play by the first baseman for the Dow 15s. Kyle Larson is snap throw by Pat McNaughton down to first, and Kyle Larson makes a great play to keep the ball in front of him and keep Tim Henderson from advancing down to second base.
Our score is 4-2. 1 out in the bottom half of the 7th. Renfro checks first, delivers. Swing and a miss by Strandland.
Strandland strides through that one, now down in the count by a count of 1-2, hoping for a little 7th inning dramatics off Kyle Renfro, who's pitched a great game to this point, but has a little work left to do in the bottom of the 7th.
Bat on ball, lofting it out to center. Looks like an easy play for Jerome Adams. Indeed, Strandland goes down.
Some shaky defense in this game, but definitely not by Jerome Adams. Great looking center fielder for the Dow 15s, hailing from Frankfurt, Germany. Far off reaches of the world here at the World Series.
2 down, bottom half of the 7th. Victoria Lucent Rockets trailing in this game 4-2. It's come down to this, perhaps. It's come down to Mr. Eric Durda, the right fielder.
Second at bat of the game, did reach on a base on balls in the 5th inning for the Lucent Rockets. Second look, he had a good at bat last time. Let's see what he can do here.
This could be the game if Eric Durda is the 3rd out. That would be our ball game, and it's been a whale of a game to date. Can Durda keep this game alive for the Rockets? Right now it's 1 ball, no strikes. Make that 2 balls. Kyle Renfro looking like he might be tiring a little bit as he throws that 59-foot fastball in the latter stages of our game. On third base is Derek Russell. He's been there like for an eternity, it seems. Nope.
He's getting a short lead over there. He doesn't want to get picked off. His run is not the important one. The important one is the guy at the plate. He wants to give Eric Durda a chance to.
3-0 is our count here. 2 out. 4-2 our score for the boys in blue. The Rockets' last chance to get into this game. Call strike 3 on the fastball by the southpaw Kyle Renfro. Once again, Derek Russell sits at first, eyeballing pitcher Tinley. Here's our batter.
Count reaches 3-1. Joey Woodruff waiting on deck for his chance.
Solid hit by Durda. Will it drop in? Yes. Chugging to third. Questionable. Russell is caught out at third, concluding play. Gutsy move by Derek Russell. He was going to go all the way, and why not? There was 2 out. The ball drops down.
That's a
nice gun.
Disappointing.
Nice gun. Watch the throw, wise guy. Watch the throw from Kyle Burmis on this ball that drops in front of him.
You never want to make the last out of the inning at third base.
Beautiful play by all concerned.
Yeah. Too bad for the Victoria Lucent Rockets. It leaves Joey Woodruff in the on-deck circle, and he was one of the heavy hitters for the Rockets in this game.
Fabulously played game for young men who you consider 15 years and under. And what a way for this game to end on a bang-bang play. A nice play by the right fielder, or make that the left fielder for the team from Redmond, Washington, Kyle
Bemis, the left fielder,
guns
as
down,
you see.
Derek Russell, and sportsmanship certainly high on the agenda here as well at the USABA 15 and under World Series.
Some of the fans heading out of the bleachers might not be happy that the hometown team couldn't pull it out, but hey, they saw an excellent ball game between 2 very solid 15-year-old teams.
All righty, let's have another look at how this 7-inning game ended with the Victoria Lucent Rockets on the short end of that 4-2 score. Redmond, Washington's Dow Baseball Club takes this particular contest at the 1998 USABA 15 and under World Series. Wonderful display of baseball. We'll be back to wrap things up right after this.
Braefoot Athletic Center Association. Event planning and coordination. 721-2244.
Welcome back to Lambrook Park as our game finishes with a 4-2 decision for the Redmond team, the Dow Baseball Club. What a pitching performance by young Kyle Renfro. And on the other side, a fine pitching performance by
Charlie Strandlin, the pitcher for the Victoria Lucent Rockets, really only had one bad inning, giving up 3 runs. He did strike out 9 Dow Baseball Club players, and a great game from him as well.
And a wonderful display of hardball by, and we have to repeat, these are players who are 15 years and under. I mean, they look older, they play an older brand of ball. Very impressive display of baseball before a great crowd here at the USABA 15 and under World Series. It's been a real joy to be a part of bringing you such a fine brand of baseball. Wise guy?
Oh, it's been a great evening here at Lambrook Park. It did get a little bit cold here at the Diamond, but people did don their jackets, and the wind did kind of calm down towards the end of the game. And just a tremendously played game on both sides. Both teams had their chances. Victoria had a great chance to tie it in the last inning, but Dow held on for the win. Great game here at Lambrook Park.
Just part of the festivities of what could be a continuation. There is some talk about holding next year's USABA 15 and under World Series here in the Victoria area next year, and maybe in the next couple of years. Let's hope so, if this is the type of baseball we get a chance to watch. I'm the coach, Hayton Thomas.
Along with the wise guy, Jamie Weiss.
We want to thank all the broadcast crew from Shaw 11 and you, the viewing audience. Thanks for being with us.